Welcome to the party, pal. You're for the neighborhood Master Chaos, back with you with another Blu-ray box set Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday or whatever day of the week it is. I hope you're having a wonderful time. I'm going to make this brief because I've got a lot on my plate, and that's a story for another day. There's going to be some big changes coming to Master Chaos TV. This channel is going to be undergoing some changes only because I'm having monetization issues, which in a way is a positive for you, but will impact my content going forward. However, like I said, story for another day. Today we're talking about, finally, this lovely box right here. The Forgotten Gialli box set from Vinegar Syndrome Volume 3, featuring 3 titles, as always. I'm going to break down the movies, I'm going to break down the features, I'm going to give you my ranking from best to worst. And then I'm going to tell you whether you should get the box set or not. So this episode, this box set review, is all Forgotten Gialli Volume 3. Let's dig into it. Number 1, the box. Beautiful box. I've gone over it. Everybody's gone over it in detail ad nauseum. I'm going to spare you the details there. Gorgeous box. As always, the box is almost worth the price of admission alone. But as much as we collectors love the box, it's not about the box. It's about the content, right? It's not the size that counts. It's what you do with it. Well, what did they do with it? Well, I'm going to go in order of the movies I watched. I'm going to break those down for you in order. And I did it in order from oldest to newest. So, number 1, Murder Mansion here, 1972. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know how this qualifies as a Gialli. In my mind, it doesn't. In my mind, this is not a Gialli whatsoever. It's an old dark house, people trapped in an abandoned building type of movie. The car breaks down. It's a stormy night. They see an old house. A whole bunch of strangers sort of gather in this house, and it's spooky, and people walk around in the shadows with candles. That's this kind of movie. However, without giving anything away, the ending is definitely more of a crime thriller. That's really where the Gialli aspect comes in. There's a little bit of gaslighting going on. But the movie in general, overall, to me, is not a Gialli whatsoever. That being said, tipping my hat, this is my favorite movie in the damn box. I just love the atmosphere. I love the look of it. Restored. All these movies look fantastic. Restored to a T. Beautiful, 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 pristine look. This one is really fun. Heads up though, nothing really happens until the end of the movie. There's no nudity either. Really, there's no violence or blood till really the last, 5 minutes of the movie. Keep that in mind. If you're going in expecting a slasher, none of these are really good slasher movies. That's a heads up. But if you're going in with this one expecting a good, Gialli slash 'em up, blood and breasts type movie, you're not going to get it with this one. However, if you like atmosphere, if you like old dark house, you're going to enjoy Murder Mansion. But it's definitely going to be the outlier when it comes to the movies in this set. Next, Armando Crispino's Autopsy from 1975. This is a classic, of course. This is probably the one that every Gialli fan had seen beforehand, before they got the box in their hands. I know I've seen this. I was able to see this in theaters. I was very lucky. I believe it played at the New Beverly here in L.A. It might have been the Egyptian. Anyway, I got to see it in theaters. Warning: this is the grossest one in the bunch. Why? Because it shows actual dead bodies. Well, photos of dead bodies, and not just dead bodies, mangled, mutilated dead bodies. There's one picture that they linger on in the background of a horribly deformed baby. Oh, I couldn't look at the screen. There's like people talking and dialogue, and the camera's like on the actors, but in the background a giant poster of a deformed baby, a dead deformed baby. What the fuck? Disgusting. And then the other angle was like somebody's like head smashed in. So keep that in mind. Real corpses, real torn to shit human beings in this movie. That's, I consider it cheap. That's a low blow. If you have to spice up your movie with actual gross autopsy footage or whatever, It's a bit much. That's stuff I don't want to see. This is supposed to be a fun adventure. This isn't supposed to make me actually throw up. Maybe some people like that. I did not. I did not appreciate that. However, this is probably the most traditional gialli in the bunch. I would say this is probably the most traditional gialli because there's mysterious murders. By the way, the first 5 minutes of this movie is chilling as hell. It's all about these random suicides that are happening because of sunspots. It's a subplot that gets abandoned real quick, but there's mysterious suicides happening in town, and there's a killer on the loose who's making it look like suicides. That's sort of the take on the movie. There's a doctor who has a sexual hang-up. Most of the movie is about this doctor, Mimsy Farmer, who has a sexual hang-up for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, because we see her naked a lot. But she has a sexual hang-up, and it's mostly about her and her trauma. It's not really exciting, honestly. I'm kind of tired of these trauma movies. It's never interesting. I'm never interested in that kind of stuff. I want to see, if I'm here for a gialli, I want to see some... None of these are as good as a Dario Argento movie or Lucio Fulci gialli. None of them have the color, the pizzazz, the tension, the suspense of those movies, and maybe that's why they were forgotten. But this is a fairly well-known one, I think, for the reasons I mentioned at the beginning, the actual gross footage and things like that. This does have a good ending, has a good little twist. Overall, this is the most traditional gialli of the bunch. Next, we have Crazy Desires of a Murderer, which is probably the sleaziest one in the bunch. So that's how I'm sort of delineating them. This is the sleaziest one of all three, has the most naked ladies. Basically, it's a bunch of kids. They go to an old manor house for a party, dancing party, getting drunk, kind of stupid party. These are like, 20-something-year-old kids. Pardon me, that was rude. I'm going to keep it in the edit, though. Anyway, horny kids at a house, and one of them dies. That's it. We get one murder. Heads up. One murder. And then a cop shows up. This fat cop shows up and goes, ooh, I wonder who did it. And he goes around trying to play Hercule Poirot. And that's your movie. There's not until, again, there's a running theme with these movies. Not until the last 5 to 10 minutes do we actually get some multiple murder action going on. And I think this one suffers the most because all it has going for it is the sleazy sex stuff. And after a while, I don't know. I just don't find that titillating. I don't find that interesting. I find that kind of boring. I fast-forwarded most of it. Once I got an eyeful, I'm good. What is the story? What are we doing here? And then it's just a lot of talking. Hey, did you do this? No, did you do that? Oh, wait a minute. But you're mysterious. How do you know about this and that? That kind of stuff. It was a bit much for me. The ending is pretty good. Sort of when you figure out what's going on and all the little machinations. I'm not going to reveal anything. I thought that was pretty good, but it's wrapped up so damn quick. I'm not even kidding. In one scene. Okay. Movie's over. What the fuck? So it was a little bit. It was a little bit rushed. I felt like it took its time developing characters, and then when we get to the denouement, it's not even worth the ride. But the nudity's fine. It's nice. There's beautiful looking ladies in this. It's not very. Well, actually, no. This one's pretty gory because it's got eyeballs in it. This has a lot of eyeballs. Remember when they were hinting about what the gialli was going to be, and they had all these eyeball pictures? It comes from this movie. It's nasty. I don't like eyeballs. Okay, let's break down the special features because that's part of the fun. Murder Mansion, you only get an interview with Evelyn Stewart. Autopsy is the most special features packed. You get multiple featurettes, including an archival introduction to the film by Armando Crispino, as well as a featurette on Crispino's career. This one only has an interview with actor Giuseppe Colombo, and from watching it sounds like he didn't have a great time working on the movie. As a matter of fact, he doesn't pull any punches when it comes to reliving his experience on this film, which isn't surprising. Now it comes time to rank them. This is going to be a little hard for me, to be honest, because while I love Murder Mansion, that's definitely number one, these two are harder to put into categories. Murder Mansion, I think, to me, is the most well-rounded, the most fun to watch, but it's the least gialli. But I'm still going to say it's my favorite one. I'd probably rewatch that one. While Autopsy is more of a gialli, than Crazy Desires is. I think Crazy Desires... No, I'm going to go with Autopsy number 2. Autopsy number 2, for sure. Crazy Desires number 3. Overall, though, what are my thoughts on the box set in general? Well, I hope I'm putting this in the right. Yeah, I'm putting it in the right. Look at that. Yeah, I'm working blind here. Overall thoughts? I think this is surprisingly the best box. I didn't really love any in the first one. In the second one, I think I liked 1.5. But I would say, I didn't hate them. I'll say this. All 3 movies here, I didn't hate. And I love Gialli. But there's something about these movies that feel very different. They don't play like a Gialli. They don't play like what you would expect a Gialli to be. There's I think only one of these movies features a killer with black gloves, that kind of thing. There's a lot of nudity. There's a lot of sleaze. Some of them have some really disgusting gore. But overall, they're very atypical for Gialli. That being said, my brothers and sisters, this is my favorite installment of the Gialli box set. I'm not necessarily looking forward to more of them, but I'll get them if they have them because I'm looking to discover that diamond in the rough. I want that diamond in the rough. Now, these movies are going to be very subjective. Specifically, these movies. For many reasons. Obviously, a foreign film. Obviously, Gialli hits people different ways. Some people will accept anything. I don't. I always sort of speak to the motto of, do we praise a movie for what it is, or do we condemn it for what it isn't? So for me, I'm always looking to praise a movie if it delivers what I expect it to deliver. And if it doesn't, then we have a problem. That's how I look at reviewing. I had issues with every movie to a degree. As much as I love Murder Mansion, nothing really happens until the last 10 minutes. But I really liked the bulk of the movie. I love the atmosphere. I like the actors. I love the setting. Foggy. There's a lot of fog. The original title I think is The House of Fog. So it's very foggy. It's very atmospheric. I like that shit. That makes me happy. But it's not Gialli. 100%. It's not. It's not a Gialli in my opinion. It does not tick any of the Gialli boxes until maybe the last 5 minutes. Then you can sort of say, oh well, I guess, kind of, but not how you would expect a Gialli to go. And that's how the running theme around it. It's not how you expect it to go whatsoever. Okay, my dude, that'll do for this box set review. Remember to join me tomorrow for Mail Day Monday. I'm going to be opening my Criterion Flash Sale haul, and it is epic. I probably bought more than I've ever bought. Well, maybe not. I bought a lot. Stay tuned. That'll be happening tomorrow. I'll be here. I hope you will be as well. Also, in the description is a link for my Buy Me a Coffee page. Now, I'm going to be talking about this more in detail later this week in another video, but I'm having issues monetizing Master Chaos TV. And it looks like Master Chaos TV will never be monetized. Meaning I have to find other areas of compensation for my work. So, in the description, Buy Me a Coffee. That's the link if you want to support your old pal, Master Chaos. Whatever you can spare helps the channel, helps it grow, and shows me that people care. And I'm most likely going to be opening a Patreon, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to give you details on all that, because that's going to open up a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sing. Let's call it a day. I love you, my friend. Take care of yourself. And until we meet again, your old pal Master Chaos remains a fan of boobies and to be continued.